Well, hello, Good Vibes Show fans. Welcome to episode 3 of season 14 of the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Hilly, part of the Special Chronicles Network. Hope you've all caught up on episodes 1 and 2 of season 14, as well as the entirety of seasons 1 and 13 of the Good Vibes shows, as well as their season recap specials. And my special, The Road to the 2022 USA Games, which talks about my training up to and the results of my training at the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando, Florida. So, folks, reminding you that this season's theme is think boldly, think loudly, and think positively. And I know some folks may have heard of this store, and I think this is the first time I'm actually going to be talking about this store. It's called Bricks and MiniFigs. And no, this is not an advertising for them. I just think they think boldly, loudly, and positively. Because one, obviously, yes, they're doing with Legos, and I know some folks are gonna probably say like, "What are you talking about that?" Like, well, to be honest, I actually have a decent sized amount of minifigs for them that I've created. I've lost track. I think it's probably I'm close at least over 20. I'm joking about that cozy because one that's thinking boldly, thinking loudly, thinking positively. But like one of the stores that's the local one near me, they're thinking boldly, loudly, and positively because they did it for their son who's on the autism spectrum. I think some of these stores are thinking boldly, loudly, and positively for what they do. Obviously, they are part of a bigger franchise and everything, but I think what they're doing, based off their stories, they're being bold, they're being loudly. I'm going to phrase that. They're being boldly, they're being loudly, and they're being positively in doing that. And I know, folks, that's like, oh, but you're just talking about something that people grew up. And I think I grew up playing with Legos, and eventually we did sell them all eventually for good reasons. And I know folks do realize that's important. And I know people, it happens. And I think it's important to note that, hey, it happens. And I think what notes what that is with these with bricks and minifig stores is that we need to appreciate their boldness, their loudness, their positivity, and what they bring to the community. I think I've been in my local store quite a few times, and usually there's quite a few people sometimes, and there may not be, but there's often people who come in and enjoy it. I think it's an opportunity to do things and have fun with things. I think I personally love going to it just because it allows me to express my creativity in minifigs. Like, yes, they got good deals on that. And I think some people really don't take the opportunity to appreciate such things. I think eventually, I think I might end up having over 100 minifigs one day. I'm Please note that if I'm saying this on the show now, that may or may not happen, but I'm knowing that right now. Thanks to Bricks and Minifigs, I really appreciate that. I do have some that are actually not made from them, but due to the fact that basically because of these stores, that minifigs are on the rise, and it's a great thing to have, and I think it's a good way to think boldly, think loudly, and think positively. I think we all have to take the opportunity to think such stores like this to give us the opportunity to think loudly, think boldly, and think positively. And folks, just remember that with this season being about thinking boldly, thinking loudly, thinking positively, that even though these stores may not be like a part of a major franchise, they're not like a huge franchise to my understanding, but like they're basically showing their boldness, their loudness, their positivity for who they are, who what their stories are. I think that is the true meaning of thinking boldly, thinking loudly, and thinking positively. So, folks, here's our great sponsor ad from our sponsor, the Special Chronicles Network. The Give Back Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Give Back Show by me, Jerry Hooley. If you love The Give Back Show, then you love the other podcasts on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we continue our mission of gaining respect and advice to people with special talents and abilities. Visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today, folks. And folks, as it says, we think boldly, think loudly, think positively. We also should remind ourselves of some things for ourselves. Like right now, this reminder for you folks to remember to follow the Give Vibe Show on Instagram at GiveVibesByJH, and to follow it on Facebook, facebook.com/GiveVibesByJH. You can also follow on YouTube, youtube.com/GiveVibesByJH. You can also subscribe to the Give Vibe Show by me, Jerry Hooley, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And also, folks, remember, if you want to support me even more beyond all the things I just listed, go check out my Redbubble shop at Jerry M. Hooley. Look it up. I have some very fun designs. I hope you all take an opportunity to look at them, make a good purchase or two, or get a purchase to make to give to friends, family, or just the friends and family as well, and they can buy it too. Just spread the news about my Redbubble shop if you must. So, folks, I hope you all tune in next week for episode 4 of season 14. This season is going very boldly, very loudly, very positively so far. And I think I appreciate you all for tuning in. I hope you all remain fans of the Give Out Show for years to come, or until I get fed up with making a show, which may or may not happen. Who knows at this point? Right now, I'm on season 14, folks. So we'll wait and see on that comment. But until next time, and until next week, peace out. Boop, bye. Have a great week, folks. I'll see you next week for episode 4. I hope you have an amazingly bold, loudly, and positively week, folks. Until next time, bye, everyone.